Goblin, it's your boy, welcome to the show. This is a video that I didn't want to do because we already did it. We were tipsy, and for some reason I cannot answer to video I don't understand what's going on. I cannot answer to video. I cannot answer the comments with video. This is in regard to obscure gravity question of do I like the game metaphor refantazio. It sucked because the first version was perfect. I was a bit drunk. It was fun. It was clever, and now we lost it forever because there's no fucking sound, and it's an 8-minute video. Anywho, we did a mukbang, so I'm probably gonna be finishing eating because this is cold. Do I like metaphor refantazio? So metaphor refantazio, I'm gonna let's do this positively. This is like a second try. Metaphor refantazio really, like I said in the first impression, Metaphor refantazio really does feel like a Persona game, and I'm so fucking pissed that I have to do a version number 2. I hate doing this because it doesn't feel as genuine. See, Metaphor refantazio feels like Persona. It really does feel like Persona, but it is extremely, without it being very hard, without it being like unbeatable. Let's start with the negative points. Then start with a bit of positive, because there's a lot more positive than negative. Start with some negative, some positive, negative, and then positive. Positive. The game does feel like Persona. We played Persona 1, which was in a school, Persona 2, and a school, Persona 3, you get the picture, Persona 4. If you get anything wrong, anything other than a school, I don't know what's wrong with you. If you're Persona 5, we were in a school. So the fact that the game is set in a, oh my god, the story is so good too. In a medieval where you get to weapon shop and armor shop, and you get outside, and outside world is dangerous, and the outside of the city is safe. Wendy's pineapple for the Krabby Patty collab. So so the game in itself is really good. The characters are really nice. The bad guys are really bad. They're easy to hate. The good guys are easy to love. I'm still extremely early on. I'm at the beginning. Okay, I'm at the first. Okay, I'm not at the first boss. Fuck. So the main bad guy is a guy that's a general. So like you could call him a general, and then he has his corporal. So he has his little circle of friends that are having their own army. I beat one of them. I don't know how many of them there are, but we beat one of them. So the cool thing here, the really cool thing that happened is that we're kind of far in when it comes to, we already have 23% of the compendium, and we're at 17 hours. So that's a lot. I need to eat because this is melting quickly. And so the story is really cool. The main character, a bit too quiet in my taste, but it's just classic when it comes to Persona. And they're already moving forward. So if you look at the other Persona, if you were not talking, the main character were not talking. But in this one, he does have some conversation. Which is baby step. That being said, my negative points. Negative points, you're gonna go with the combat. The combat is extremely nice. The combat, you're able to attack people in the beginning, inflicting some damage and inflicting a stun. However, they're able to do the same. What is really cool is there's 3 sides of enemy. There's blue that you can defeat outside of the battle. Yellow, you have to battle, but they're similar to your level. And red, the cool thing about the red is no matter how much you hit them, you will have to do the most of the damage inside of the battle. The yellow, you can take off, I want to say like at least half of the HP out of the battle, which is really cool. So yeah, so this is pretty cool. My problem with the battle system is it's extremely forgiving but extremely unforgiving. We just had it's so cool. We just had the first temple, and we got 4 archetypes. So in this game, usually in Persona, you have different personas. So this is a bit of a problem. And the Persona, what I like to do with Persona, we played the 3rd one and the 5th one, so I don't know much about it, but still, I like to go in. And without necessarily going a higher level is picking up some persona that are going to be fusing well together. So what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to do small level persona fuse to get bigger persona, fuse to be bigger persona, until you have a persona that is a quality persona for the first temple. You do the same thing for the second temple. You do the same thing for the third temple, etc., etc., etc. In this one, they're replacing persona with archetype. Archetype are a job system. So right now we have four. No, we have more than four. We have five. We have the. And it's really, I really enjoy it. I really, really, really enjoy it. Archetype system is really cool. So you got the Seeker, which is the main character. So every single character has this archetype, and you can choose to be their archetype. So you can have three of the same archetype, it doesn't matter. But you unlock them with party members. So you have the three main one for now, because we have three party member. We have the Seeker, which is a mix between mage and warrior. We have the warrior in itself. The warrior in itself is the nicest, because you're having kind of a high defense. You kind of have a high offense, right? And when somebody is in a danger, when they're low health, you'll take the hit for them. The problem with that is you got no MP. The knight, you have a high defense, but you have no attack. Nice to no attack. Now there's some cool thing. There's two free one. The first one is mage, which you can inflict very low level elemental damage. You got fire, you got blizzard, you got thunder. You got another one, but it's a healer that you have automatically get. The healer, you're able to heal other people. And lastly, you have the berserker that you do by doing a special quest. The berserker in itself is the strongest, but it's the most dangerous. So the berserker, you can trade your health, right? You can trade your health to inflict a lot of damage. So technically, what you could do is a healer, right, and a berserker. The healer, the berserker. The berserker does the most of the job. But there's a problem with there's a problem with metaphor refantazio. Metaphor refantazio. The biggest problem with it. The battle is very quickly you become very, very strong. Very quickly you become extremely strong. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna have those three archetype. That's my mistake. What I did, what was wrong. So you got a three archetype, and you're getting very strong because you choose the really good one. For example, I have this knight. This knight who was able to aggro. Everybody's an attacker, and not my mage and my healer. So I have this knight that takes more of the damage. I have this healer in case of a problem, and I have this mage who inflicts madness attack, crazy attack. So it's a pretty good deal. And then you go through the entire dungeon, and you're being told you're doing so good, not because you're actually doing good, it's because you're strong. You're strong enough to take out most of the enemy with a couple of hits, right? That's not strength. It's the weak. The enemies are weak. When you're faced with a boss, you just spent 17 hours for the first temple. Well, the prologue of the first temple, just to realize that you didn't really learn the game. You didn't really learn the game. You just used cheap tactics to win, and then you're in face of a enemy that is very strong. The problem with the Fort Refantazio, it's not a real. It's sold. It is sold as a. It is sold as a RPG without being an RPG. So, as an RPG, if you have a boss that's difficult, you can go back and farm. Metaphor Refantazio allows that, but to a certain degree doesn't allow that. So it's a very bad system. So the very first couple of enemies that you feel are level 1. They'll give you 1 experience points. Okay? And then you face a bunch of enemies that you can kill once. You can kill them once, getting experience points once. And then, if you're lucky enough and you got enough, you'll be level 12, 13, 14. And then the next enemy that are able to respawn are level 20. So if you wanted to respawn, if you wanted to gain back this, what you have to do is you get back to the 20. Now, I'll be completely honest, I cheated. I had to cheat. So what I did was, we have the mage. With the mage, you're able to recover MP every time you end the battle. So what I would do is, I would go attack these strong enemies, battle with them, get a lot of experience point, come back, get some MP, go back to the strong one, take the MP, go back, get some MP after attack. That's how we did it. Otherwise, I would have not been able to get it. The system is a bit lacking because they give you the illusion that there's a lot of possible tactics to win when there's only a couple. Now, what they want you to do is to have more than one archetype. So, for example, you have one of the fighter versus one of the person that's gonna heal you, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna be healing myself, but I need that strong character. The healer does 13 damage at level 20. 13 damage. The knight does 64 damage. Same level. Yeah, yeah. However, the problem with that is if you change job, you can inherit one skill. And that one skill is going to be healing, right? However, there's a lot better skill than just healing. So you're in a position where you have this extremely good skill that you can inherit. For example, with mage, you have this skill that you can inherit where you can get MP. Healer, you have this inheriting skill that is allowing you to heal every single turn, which are great. But then you can only sacrifice one. You can only learn one. So you have to sacrifice. Either you get the one that's good after the battle, and long term you get the one that can heal you or inflict a lot of damage. Right? So once again, you cheat. What you do is you're gonna get some of the archetype or job that are less good. You're gonna maximize them so you can take a couple of the ability. However, then you didn't think and you realize that okay, they're passive one, I cannot take them. And that's it. Finally, ending on a positive point. The story is phenomenal. The story is about a king that gets murdered. Because the king gets murdered, there's a replacement for the king. The replacement has to be, there's a magic. It's supposed to be like a bad guy, but the magic of the king is like, okay, well, guess what? I know it's supposed to be this bad guy, but I'll let the people decide. And one of the story that is super good. Again, I'm gonna get canceled for saying that. One of the concept of the game that is super good is the racism. And I know I'm sorry to say that, but it's really good because in the game there's 8 races, right? And it's a constant culture of there's lesser race and there's better race. The lesser race, and it's not a question of strength, it's not a question of value, it's a question of quantity. For example, the Clemar they're very strong, they're very numerous, right? They're not, for example, I'm gonna take a super good example. Let's take Lord of the Ring. The humans aren't the king of the planet. The elf are, because the elf were there first. The dwarf were there right after, so it could be the dwarf too. Why is it human? Because human, there's a lot of them, right? The Clemar is a lot of them, and they're strong. They're not meant to be king because of the race, but they're super strong, and their race takes over. As it happened, your main character is of a lower race, and because if it's a lower race, you kind of want him to be king. That way, he can solve the problem of racism. So they present to you racism, which is really cool because you want to defeat it. They present to you racism, which is really cool because you're a victim of it. It's not so much, oh, this character just got this, fuck him. It's like, no. People are talking shit to me. I have to defend myself, but I'm a normal person. You understand? Which is really good. The last thing is, story-wise, the subject that are involved is the religion. Religion is super important because there's one religion, and it's crazy because there's 8 races, and out of the 8 races, 4 of them have different religion. But once again, the Clemar have this religion, and if you believe in anything else than this religion, you're a pariah, you're a criminal. You should be prosecuted. Yeah. So once again, you're like, holy shit, this is not technically racist, but it's kind of racism. And my main character has a different religion. But at the same time, what the best thing about the religion is not even that. There's something better with the religion. Very early on, there's a scene where you got the main character, and you got the scene in itself. The main character is here talking about his journey, going la 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 la. And then you got the main character that you got the second story. There's a religion, and I swear to God, and this is by the way, I didn't say that, but this is a 100-hour game. In case you didn't know, in the first 4 hours, you have a cutscene where the player, not the character, the player understand that the church is corrupted. It's very corrupted. Yeah. It's helping the strongest. to maintain in power. So their strongest, once again, being this race that is in power. They're helping the race because their race, they're approving of this church. They're like, whatever you need to do, we'll help you out. But in the same time, you're gonna be the main religion. And then, as a player, you know that the church is corrupted, but the main character doesn't know. And as a player, you cannot scream, "Yo, bro, it's fucking corrupted." You can't, because it's a game. So you have to see the main character slowly understand that the religion is corrupted, which is great. It's a really good game. My impression is a really good game. It could be better. It could be better, but honestly, I haven't had fun playing an RPG like that. There's also this. There's also this. There's also this problem. So me and the person I made this video for, which is Obscure Gravity, I made the first version, which there was no sound. There's another. We're both around the same age, both in our 30s, you know. No, I'm in my 20s. He's possibly a bit younger. I don't know his age. We're good friends, but I don't know him much, and he doesn't know me much. It's one of those classic internet friendship. So that being said, I want to think about myself, and if that applies to Obscure, I grew up with so many fucking good RPG, like amazing, like the Final Fantasy series, the Dragon Quest series, the Pokemon series. We're talking about the golden age of Pokemon, and the problem when you I don't care how old you are. Okay, close your eyes. Do me a favor. Close your eyes. Think about your parents and think about the band that they're listening to. They always listen to the same band because for them this is the best. I'm always gonna play the same game because for me this is the base game. So this is a very good RPG that I'm willing to spend an hour, 100 hours in. But when is the last time I played a game that I spent another 100 hours in? You wanna know? Yakuza 7. Now do me a favor, okay? Do me just a little favor. Asking for friends. Go on my YouTube channel and check out this Yakuza 7 gameplay. When was it? It was over a year ago. Now what if you're saying, Incas, that's not true. You played Elden Ring this month. It's not a new game. I played it twice already. Anywho, no, I'm not tipsy anymore. And I'm gonna go. The level of energy is going down. So thank you for watching this. Shout out to Obscure, of course, for this. But I love you guys. That you matter. I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy. Peace.